banking from as little as R7.50 per month, loans up to the value of 2,000 rands, funeral cover up to the value of 30,000 rands, smartphones from as little as 240 rands per month. To apply, visit your nearest EasyPay Everywhere branch or dial *120 *37 *7 hash. Terms and conditions apply. EasyPay Everywhere is brought to you by Moneyline, authorized FSA, and is regulated by the National Credit Regulator. Where can you find us?
Everywhere. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Easy Pay Radio, brought to you by Lesaka Technologies. My name is Loza Wamamfene. I'm not alone in studio. I have managers. When the south meets the north or the north meets the south, they are here. But good morning and warm welcome, Kasim. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Loza. Good morning, Tabile, and good morning to all the viewers and listeners out there.
Thank you so much. That's Kasim from Gqeberha, and Sbenaye ke Tabile Sovita Tjovitju.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mopene. Good morning, Kasim. Good morning to the listeners, viewers, and the followers out there.
Yes, it's Friday and it is the end of the month, the 31st of March. It's the last day. So we thought, you know what, let's take the managers now. We've been, doing this with the Abantu Abapha, at the grassroots level. And now today, let's hear from them. Let's hear from them as Abantu Abapha enhloko into yobana kubethwa baphi pha enhloko. Well, I did yafuna nje siba understand nabo as managers babasukaphi no Easy Pay. They are here now and as managers, but kahle basukaphi no Easy Pay. Kasim, when did you join the company and why?
Losa, I joined the company in 2010. So I've been with
you see what I'm talking about. There's no one OT I know last year. Oh, it was 2019. Still, if you look at 2019 and it's 2023 and Bapa, there's something that the company is doing right. If you can maintain abantu abanjalo yonke le minyaka, there's something that Lesaka Technologies is doing right, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. As I say, it's been quite a journey. We had some tough times, some difficult times, and yet some good times as well. As I say, it's been 13 years. We're still going strong, and only better things to come.
Yes. That's what we hope for, and we strive for. But what is important is to give a service kubantu bethu as this bank. We explained we're in Tanzania and we're super excited, and explaining to the people that this each and every bank has its own target market, but this one specifically focuses on the grant earners or grant recipients of South Africa. Those people who are they've always been excluded. And now babona ibhanka ezawubakhathalela ezawuthetha ulwimi lwabo ezawuza kubo ezantsi and even visit them at home ibasayinise join bathini. So that's nice. And immediately I talk about Easy Pay, I'm sure you are notice that you're like there's something there because into enobuntu phakathi.
Correct. I think it talks to personality yakho Easy Pay because to begin with, I'm just over a year. In fact, I'm 1 year, 9 months.
Oh, Mafikizolo. Yeah, the only Mafikizolo.
I'm the new kid on the block. A lot of them have been in the organization for the longest time, so they've seen it all.
Sure.
When all the transitions happened, they were there, and it's a good thing because we are on a journey with the customers yet. So you don't want to be changing faces every day. You want them to understand it about we are on a journey.
Yeah.
The people that I was dealing with a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years ago are the same people that I'm dealing with today.
Yes.
But now, theta language, let's do this in a banking format. Let's do this in a way, NSDMA, let's do this in a way that is regulated. That's pretty much what this is all about. And for me, being in this organization, Mafena, for the last 18, 19 months, look, it's been a journey.
It's been a journey, yeah.
When EasyPay was in search for the new leaders, people that will take the organization into the next level, I was really proud to look. I've spent a good 15 years fulfilling career at another institution. But when I heard about EasyPay and when I understood what EasyPay was all about, it really spoke to me. It really spoke to me in the sense that this is where I knew I could make the difference. This is where I knew I could connect the dots in terms of the banking, yabantu abadala, nabantu abafumana imali yesibonelelo, imali yegrant. That missing link between Bona and the working class and the banking services. So I really jumped on the opportunity because I knew that I've seen this. I always wanted to see them. Bezifumana ezinkonzo manje. Bezifumana ku-bank ezaba-understander, ku-bank that will treat them with dignity. Nangendlela ebafaneleyo. So yeah, it was an easy decision for me. It's been an exciting journey, and I'm looking forward. EasyPay is the future.
Yeah, EasyPay is the future. I'm sure Kasim nawe unokongeza apho. EasyPay is the future. Ndiyanibona nani nizimisele. In fact, you see that even from the CEO down to oyena mntu usezantsi abantu bazimisele, and you are clear ngevision. Yuba wonke umuntu must be included banking system South Africa njengabemi. No one should be excluded. Wonke umuntu funeka afumane inkonzo zokubhankisha. Let me give you a chance, Kasim, nawe Kesive, from your side before we can talk about the products and the services that the bank has to offer.
No, thank you so much, Loza. Look, from my perspective, if I look at most organizations, they're all about, the bottom line profits, no matter what impact it has on the customer. We as Lesaka, we're passionate about our customer experience. The organization, put its customers first, no matter their race, no matter their social standing as well. And also, Laws, I must mention, I know quite a number of households that are, dependent on a social grant. And it's for that reason that what we do is so close to my heart.
And especially the households that are being led by young people and who are, some of them, okay, most of them they didn't go to school, and it becomes a challenge for them even to understand what is happening that they are using. And now since EasyPay corner and they switched to EasyBank to EasyPay banking, so things are starting, being part of the banking system. Well, thank you for that. At times you really need to hear from abantu who are heading, Lamapondo. But now let's talk about the challenges and the success stories. Let's reflect back in your 18 months or 19 months, Mr. Sovita ujonile organization, yeyiphi nando unoti at this one. There are highs and lows, obviously. I'm sure you don't know which on a basis.
One of the things that has been a highlight for me is the level of understanding, the generic understanding is about abantu abafumana imali yesibonelelo.
Sure.
Oftentimes we think we understand them. We think we know what they're going through. We need to understand their space. The reality is we don't. Until you engage with them and you understand their real life experiences, then you are able to tap into their space and be able to provide imvuno zabo, i-services ezi-addressa imvuno zabo, that is. Amaxesha amaninzi siyathanda ukuba decidela. And that is something that we do as the society.
Sure.
That is something that we do as the financial institutions that are offering these services to them. We often decide what we think they need without really engaging on them and understanding them over needs on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
When I was in another institution, I had a total different perception
about
the
grant recipients. Oh, yeah.
And I often look at them as abantu that were just, by the way, also have these customers.
Those people who floods get first, get fifth. Those people, it's those days, Ghanaian, and
we frustrate us because month end. I remember there was a time a grant that was starting on the first, and it was done at every first of the month, and we'd be frustrated because that time we still had our customers the month end. And these grant people would come and occupy the space with ATMs, space, you know. So we never understood them in Gala Klasha as important as the rest of the customers that we had. So it was always like, we have our customers, but we also have these people.
So we have these people, where do they pay bank charges? But we know, first, don't go to the bank. It's those days, Zababantu, in inverted commas, Zababantu.
So for me, that's been a highlight of my career, because I thought I knew everything about banking until I got to deal with these people. In my previous life, when I've dealt with the top end business banking customers, and the like. So you've got it. I've got a good mix of
the elite
experience of the banking client. But the client that I never really focused on and dealt with is this one, which is the grant recipient, the SASSA market. And for me, it's been a whole new journey of banking, because they are people, they are very unique in their needs, but you must remember, like you and I, they have common needs that you and I have, that we often think that they don't have.
Okay.
They don't have a need for borrowing or lending. The reality is, a lot of times, the money that they borrow, it is 99.9%. It goes towards something very, very valuable, very important. Unlike you and I that can go to the bank and request a credit facility for a child's birthday party.
We need
without any questions. Bona, when they knock on the bank's door and say, I need a credit facility, I need a personal loan, it is because that child at university, that child that is studying in another province has got no transport money to come home, or has got no transport money to leave home to go to the university. So it's always the most important things that they need finances for. Insurance. We often assume that Lamibuto Yasemakaya is enough for them. But we forget that, like you and I, they have the need that we need to bury our loved one in a dignified manner, but also what happens after the burial. Because you don't want them to be worse off after the funeral. And that's where the insurance policy comes in. It closes that gap.
Sure.
While you may have Lamibuto where says Lalini, as a as a copy bokisi, copy busha, copy komanjalonja. Financially, you don't want to be worse off, because you have izinto that you need to service on a monthly basis, like everybody else.
Wow, it's 7:20. It's time for us to pay the bills, and we'll shoot straight to Kasim in Tabeja. But before that, we have to do this.
Easy pay everywhere is so easy. Banking from as little as R7.50 per month, loans up to the value of 2,000 rands, funeral cover up to the value of 30,000 rands, smartphones from as little as 240 rands per month. To apply, visit your nearest Easy Pay Everywhere branch or dial *1 Everywhere is brought to you by Money Bank. Otherwise, FSP and is regulated by the National Credit Regulator. Where can you find us?
Everywhere.
So,
It is so easy indeed. Kasim, let me give you a chance as well. Ukuphefumle.
Thank you, Loza. Just to reflect on what Tabile just made mention of now. And I think that's one of the highlights for me as well. If I can, if I can reflect back, I'm a salaried individual. I mean, I've got permanent employment.
Sure.
So I can walk into any bank, any big commercial bank, apply for credit, and it will be approved pending on my affordability. Unfortunately, we can't say the same about the grant recipients. Any grant recipient in receipt of a grant going to a major commercial bank to apply for credit, they will not be assisted. And it's for that very reason that what we do is so close to my heart. Because what we do, we offer, affordable bank accounts, we offer affordable loan, and as my colleague just previously mentioned, affordable funeral policies as well. So obviously what we do, I mean, we conform with the National Credit Act, and we conduct our business, in a very responsible and transparent manner. So it's just absolutely amazing the work that we do as an organization and what we stand for.
Transparent, easy, flexible. That's the bank ofunayo that senior citizens of the country sinozinika yona. Mr. Savage.
Injalo msasazi bafuna ukuqiniseka ngento abadelishana nayo. So if badelishana nawe as an institution, they need, because remember, these are the people that have got the most loyalty.
Sure.
They're very trusting, very loyal, and you don't want to break that. So if baza kuwe as an institution, kufuneka uqinisekisile into yoba everything oyenzela bona, one is emthethweni, two is transparent. E-banking has got the most jargon, complex and complicated that you can ever hear.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amagama asetyenziswayo within the banking sector that you want to understand. You don't want to use those words. If you're talking about bank accounting or EasyPay everywhere, EPE, you must explain it. And if you talk about if bank charges that are associated with using that bank account, there must be plain language. If you are to talk about a loan, for instance, don't try and confuse them with interest rate. For instance, yesterday, the Reserve Bank has revised in its interest rate. Now you don't want to confuse them with such things. Every time you go back and say the prime rate has gone up, the repo rate has gone up, therefore your prime rate is affected, and therefore your interest rate. Can you hear that? I'm almost confusing myself. Because that's how complex it is.
Jargons and
you don't want to go with that to them because already you've lost them and they feel like they're dealing with somebody that they cannot connect with. So make it plain, make it simple, make it understandable. It must have a logic.
It must have a logic
for them to understand.
Because ngabantu abatrustayo ndobana le talent uyithethayo mntanam, I trust what we are saying. I'm buying this and I'm signing kule form because ndithembe wena mntanam. I trust that lento ayizo. And you can just imagine xa unothi kanti wena awuzuyifulfilla lento bumthembise yona ukophuka kwenhliziyo, then because lo mntu mdala already and bayagula, some have high blood pressures and some are diabetic and now when umxelela into yobana ayivalile office xa fika kukhala umoya.
And the indlela operator ngayo la market, if they trust and believe in you, because remember they spend a lot of time in gatherings,
funerals.
Either they are retired or basically. So they talk amongst each other. Now, if I've earned their trust, they go back to the communities and
spread the word,
confidently about me, about EasyPay. Now, imagine if I break that, because with that one person that has earned my trust goes to the community and speak positively about what we do. And it is for that reason that we have to make sure that we stick to the transparency, we stick to speaking and dealing with them in the language that they understand.
Yeah.
But more so, we extend ourselves to put ourselves in their shoes. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who is solely dependent on the grant, and think about what they have to do ngalamali to make it go a long way to last them the money. And think for yourself, would it be enough for me on a month-to-month basis? Because you are quick to judge, Ndoba, no, they should not be borrowing money, that money is enough. The reality is they've got much more responsibilities, responsibilities that you and I do not take as abantu abaphangelana. We leave it to them. We leave our children with our parents. That's now the something that you and I know.
Yeah.
We are pangela, you've got a good job, but so already what that means is that that grocery xabiyenza inyanga nenyanga eyale nyanga will probably be double.
Yeah, because
it's valiwe sonke sihlokile abantwana amahleli nomakhulu notatomkhulu. Sure. And we think into no ufumana imali egrant urhulumente iyanipha le mali. And that's another thing that we have sort of stigmatize into in a stigma le mali imali oyiphiwayo ngurhulumente. It's almost like you have no say.
When I was sebenzelanga inawe too. Yes. Kanti bapeyise bagqibe futhi.
And njengoba kubo psychologically ikhona into eyenzayo ibe ngathi I don't deserve better. You know.
I know, because Kasim, I'm sure you agree with me. There's that thing about it's taxpayers' money. I'm paying tax, imali yethu, and xa befumana bona awethu bagqithe. There's that. You know, and they are baba sengxakini yoba babazi i-target ye loan sharks. Everyone want to try a business. Uzawucinga guys, either uzawuvula i-funeral parlor, funeral undertaking business, or uzawubajoinisa, or uzawuthengisa i-curtain and lights and yonke into, because bayatrust yonke loo nto leyo zizinto esizenzayo. And speaking of loan sharks, Kasim, there's this myth that Easy Pay everywhere is a loan shark, is a loan lending, I don't know what to call it, or scopari or micro lender. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Loza. As I previously mentioned, I mean, we are a registered organization. We conform to the National Credit Act. And as my colleague also mentioned, I mean, we conduct our business in a very responsible and transparent manner. I must say, Loza, you know, I had the opportunity the other day to visit one of the branches here in Gqeberha, at the Clary Park Shopping Center. You know, and to my surprise, while I was sitting and having a chat with the team leader, one of the clients walked in, and she was literally in tears, and it was an elderly lady, a gogo, and she came to complain about one of the micro lenders that she went to, and you know, upon investigating, Loza, it's very, very painful to see, because I mean, you know, on average, she's earning 2,000 rands a month. She went to this micro lender, took out a loan. And, you know, the repercussions of her going into a business or dealings with this micro lender resulted in her now having EFT debits to the amount of 1,400 rands, which ultimately it leaves her with barely anything come month end. And it's, you know, I honestly feel her pain when I was busy chatting to her, you know, and what we do on our side, that's why I keep on saying, you know, our loan product offering is so good. It's so affordable. I mean, when we interact with the customer, we let the customer know this is the amount that you qualify for. If they opt in for that amount, this would be your installment over a 6-month period.
Sure.
Come the last installment date, you know, then the business is it's concluded. But with these other scrupulous micro lenders, it's an absolute vicious cycle, you know. And for us too, when you come into our when you walk into our doors to opt in for a loan, it's not just to say that we'll grant you the loan. we'll
Yeah.
conduct an affordability study to see whether you will be
Yes.
able to repay the loan, and also look at your living expenses for the remainder of the month. So it's situations and stories like that really touches my heart, and it's for those specific reasons why I'm still with this organization.
Yeah. And then as you are talking, I'm thinking that it is a duty of us as abantu mhlambe ke abanalo ufifi lokufunda okanye even EasyPay to have awareness, or to go to the people as well, specifically now, not to make sure, not to join, or to just to educate them and make them aware of these things, and work on ingqondo zabo, as utshilo earlier, that baya trust, and nabayibambileyo bayibambe baba loyal, no be wrong, no be njani, mangaba ungumbe umuntu convincing into yobana this is it, bayayibamba. So I think as EasyPay, maybe ke uLesaka niyayithatha nina lapha eprovincini, take it up to the national level, to say we need to educate abantu bethu. The last time you were here, we spoke about people queuing on the, for instance, now is about the 4th, queuing on the 4th. That doesn't mean you won't get your money if you go there on the 8th or on the 13th, but it's because it's here, it's on the mind, that you need to, there are things that our people need to unlearn and relearn the new thing, because it doesn't say your money will be gone if you go there on the 15th. But abantu abayazi, and besides that, abantu baphelele, that's the only money that they have. So it's hand to mouth. So immediately, masigqibe nokukutya because siyapeya ngomso, so makube empty fridge today. That's the mentality, and that's a challenge that and posayo EasyPay to say, let's have these public participation engagements, and sibafake ulwini abantu bethu bafunde bazoyibona, so that the relationship between the grant recipients and the money izokwazi uba iphucuke.
Spot on, my friend. Firstly, let me start by saying challenge accepted. We will do that. It's always been something that I've wanted to do. One, realizing that there is so much gap in understanding their personal finances.
Sure.
And you don't blame them, because nobody really spoke to them about it. And I mean, financial education is a big thing.
Yeah.
Something that you don't take for granted, even to somebody like you and I. There's always a gap for someone, because it's my salary, it's my money, so why do I need somebody to tell me about it? The reality is that you need somebody with expertise that will tell you about how to conduct your finances in a responsible manner, in a manner that will make sure that you don't get into a financial crisis and things like that. So that's the first point. We will do that, because abantu bethu, they for instance, if I may just refer to the example that Casino's made, two things have happened there. One, the customer has got a need because they are short of money, so they need the money. But now, in the absence of a regulated environment to accommodate them, right, they end up going to the micro lender, who is also desperate to get the same. Irrespective of how much a customer gets, what is the affordability saying? Will this customer still have surplus after this? So it's two people meeting at a point of desperation. And kubano opened by a victim. It's a customer.
Exactly.
The customer was saying it runs forever. And if you ask this person, what was the term of this loan? Chances are they don't remember. Because at the time they went for that credit facility, they were desperate. But instead of dealing with somebody who was responsible, who will conduct a credit assessment and do a affordability check, they deal with somebody who's also desperate to get the maximum they can get out of the customer. With EasyPay, if you may want to borrow 10,000, we will not give it to you. We'll tell
because
you
you're earning
straight on
2,000
your face that
rands.
Your income is 2,000 rand. We cannot borrow you more than what you earn. Similarly,
otherwise,
I would love a bank that will give you $1 million rand.
But
definitely, I will appreciate the $1 million rand. But because banks are so responsible with their lending, they will not give it to me. It doesn't matter how sad the story I tell them that I need this $1 million rand. They will not give it to me. And if they were to give it to me, they will create a bigger problem for me, because I won't be able to pay it back.
awuzokwazi. And what uKasim mentioned earlier, if ayenzeki ngolo hlobo, it will mean that abantu, when we say easy pay everywhere, yibhanka, and we always mention lento ye loan, mhlawumbi is another thing eyenza uba abantu bacinga uba we're just throwing money or reckless lending to abo bantu. That is not the case. You have to apply. Awuzothi uvula i-account immediately so unikwe loan or uthathe insurance that you might not need. Only those who say, okay, I am now easy pay banker, and now ndiyayinida okanye andinidi, awuzuvela kuthiwe yiza. So ndifuna nje siklerishe nalaa nto yokuba asithonisi.
Umzekelo, briefly, a lot of micro lenders okanye indawo ezibolekisa ngamali don't offer bank accounts because their primary focus is ekubolekiseni ngemali.
Sure.
If EasyPay was in that business, saying all we want is to borrow people money, we wouldn't waste time and offer people cards and see people must switch their accounts to EasyPay, because you can still get to people and borrow them imali without offering them a bank card. So a primary business is to ensure that people have got a viable option where they can have banking services for their grant money. And then once you have that, any other financial needs that you may have then gets addressed by the personal loans, by the insurance that we have, by the cell phone offering and all of those things. But primarily, our focus is to ensure that people money option viable for banking services.
Yeah.
Secondly, by having that option, then you then have the banking services that you need as a person.
All right, that's Tabulo Sovita, who is a manager up at Eastern Cape kwicala lase-North, and akambi yedwa namhlanje uhamba noKasim Ismail, yena ke manager la kwicala lase-South kwalapha Eastern Cape. So zimonejala ezimbini eziye zathenjwa nguLesaka Technologies into yobana bazayincedisa Eastern Cape inabile, hence izaba no-manager ababini kuhlululana ngokuqinisekisa into yobana kuyafikelelwa nakubani na. And uyayiva indlela the way we converse today, sithetha neentloko nengqoqonqoqo. Kasim, maybe because we are running out of time now, I just want you to remind the viewers and listeners at home the vision of EasyPay. What is your vision? Kindly unmute yourself. Yes. Yes.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, look, to put it simplistically, it's all about financial inclusion. All right.
Kasim, we've lost you there again. I think you are on mute again. Maybe let's give it to you, Mr. Savita. Let's remind abantu bethu. Ikhona nba ukuthiwa kaloku xa nizawuperish if there's no vision. Funeka ibhalwe phansi blank ithi the book of Habakkuk ibhale phaa abantu bayibone ithini vision ngoba aba bantu kanye yinto lento bayifunayo.
So eyona siyifunayo sasazi I think kwenye ingxoxo sasihleza nazo no mphathi wethu CEO wayimentioned that EasyPay is about addressing the gap that exists within the country as it relates to e-grant recipients.
Okay.
We've spoken about the different types of banks that cater for different types of clients, but we identified that there is a gap where a certain group of people are sort of excluded in this whole thing.
Yeah.
And our vision is to include them. So we're saying be included, but go into a bank that will do the inclusion in a way that talks to you.
Sure.
In a way that talks to your needs, in a way that talks to you as a person, as an individual, not as a group of people, but you as Uloza or Mampene as one.
Sure.
So that's what financial inclusion is talking about.
Tukvile. Kasim is back. Kasim, your last words. Oh, Dampungola. Yeah, he's back. Your last words. We are running out of time.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna end off by saying this. I want to challenge each and every social grant recipient or any person in receipt of a social grant out there that is not our customer. I want to challenge them. Switch, come over to us and experience firsthand what customer service is all about. and that's it.
That's it. Switch uzobona. Asithethe kaninzi. Switch uzobona into zefesi. Thank you so much, Kasim, and we really appreciate your presence this morning. Mrs. Savita, as always, kumnandi uba sibe nani this morning and share bendichile that we are closing the month of March ngendlela nje different kudala singena nzulu kwi-products zethu, but okubalulekileyo ukuva from abantu who are leading the organization in the province, babona bacinga njani, babona njani, bathetha njani. But I appreciate your time, gentlemen. Thank you for gracing us this morning with your presence. Nkosi kakhulu. Easy pay everywhere. Kasim, you are easy pay everywhere, and then you will say easy pay akashishis. Easy pay everywhere.
Easy pay akashishis.
Yes, right. Easy pay akashishis. Easy pay everywhere. Yeah, you've got it right the first time. I was like, ooh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rosa. And thank you to all the listeners and viewers out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. And have a good, blessed weekend. Mr. Sovita?
Masibakhumbuze msasazi, next week yaqala iPay ngomhla wesine,
yes,
Tuesday next week, and again EasyPay will be ready.
Yeah.
As always, you will find us at retailers, ATMs. You will find us at our branches. Abantu bethu will be ready to serve.
Sure.
And once again, if you can not go ngalamini just because kuba busy, kuba congested, imali yakho is safe. You will get your money on the day that you come to town. And yes, we'll speak again. When we speak to them again in April,
sure,
we'll be focusing more on the financial education. I think we've spoken about these products, so you know them. But in order for you to buy the product, you must have the knowledge as to why do I need the product. I think what we need to address is the gap on the financial education side.
Duvile, thank you so much. It's 20. No. It's 7:42. We keep Ngesi Radio and siyabulela yonke ke le nkqubo uyiphathelwe ngeminqweno emihle ngabakwa Lesaka Technologies integrated business model. Easy pay everywhere. Sometimes greenish, sometimes orange, sometimes purple. And please be included. Have a blessed day. Let's pay the bills. Thank you.
Goodbye.